I grew up practically siblings with Jessica. We met each other when we were just 4 and 5, and we've been like sisters ever since. We used to go over to each other's house every weekend, make dreams together to be great artists one day, and we stayed in touch even after I moved. When I was in 5th grade, my family moved across the country, but Jessica and I always stayed together. After a year or two, we grew a little farther away as I met people on the internet. I had been talking to a boy named John, and John was just so much like myself, and we bonded instantly. Over months of staying up late and talking to him, I started growing feelings for him. I was about to tell him, actually, when another friend of mine let it slip that they were dating. And my world went black. The man I loved someone else. I never told anyone I had feelings for John. I just tucked myself away in a hole where I kept my emotions to myself. I had a few people that I told about my pain, but never that I had romantic feelings. I didn't even tell Jessica about it. I developed this thing called philophobia, and it's like the fear of love, being loved, or falling in love. I never wanted to love anyone again. My brain told me that they would only ever leave. I sloped downhill into anxiety and depression, and I began to use a chain that I had in my bedroom to hurt myself and make the pain go away. I was terrified to trust people because I thought that they would just go away. As all that was happening, my family moved back closer to our old home. But there was a catch to this. I never told Jessica anything negative I had gone through. I sheltered my emotions, and I didn't want the feelings to be real. And I thought that she loved the old happy me better than who I'd become. So I put on a mask and smiled for her. It became a habit, but it always hurt once I was alone again. Fast forward about a year, I had been reunited with a childhood friend of mine, his name is Samuel, and I found myself starting to grow feelings with him. I didn't know what it was, my fears just kind of went away around him. It was until one day, when I called Jessica, she asked if I thought Samuel liked her, and I felt my throat close up. Samuel's family had moved to Jessica's church, so she saw him every week. My ears rang up as I heard her voice say that she was falling in love with him, and I forced a smile and said he probably liked her back, based on some actions he'd made. After the call, my heart broke in two. Another person I'd fallen for had seemingly been taken from me. Or had he? I was texting Samuel one night and I felt this need to tell him my feelings, so I spit them out in the best way possible, praying that he wouldn't shut me up. And he said that he liked me too. We had a long discussion together, but in the back of my mind I was just terrified about what would happen to Jessica. Would she hate me? Would we break up our friendship? But Samuel promised he'd be there for me, forever. But a week later, he said things were moving too quickly when I simply asked if I could say, I love you. He told me that we were nothing but friends right now, but if we had feelings after high school, then we could try to have a relationship. That definitely broke me. I sent cryptic messages to everyone I knew, hoping that they'd be concerned and talk to me, including Jessica. She saw my message, and suddenly my phone started to buzz. I stared at the screen in disbelief, then I ran to my bedroom and answered the call. For an hour straight, I did nothing but cry to her. I wanted so badly to hug her. I just wanted her to be there with me, but she just couldn't. I broke down that night and told her everything. I told her about my anxiety, my self-harm, everything, even my feelings for Samuel. And you know what? Even though she couldn't be physically there for me, she was there for me with her words. She comforted me and promised that she would always be there if I needed her. A few months later, she came to me saying that she was depressed. She told me that Samuel had put her in the friend zone because someone had asked him if he liked her, and she was crushed. But I was there to hold her up. I was there by her side to feel the same pain. I knew what that felt like. We've supported each other through these hardships, and we've grown so much stronger in our friendship than either of us could have ever imagined. I'm working through my anxiety, she's fighting through depression, and we've got each other's backs. She's the closest thing I've known to a sister, and I wouldn't trade my sister for anything. As for Samuel, well, he and I still talk often, and Jessica still sees him every week. She's trying to move on, and I am waiting for graduation. But know this one thing. You are never alone. You don't have to hide from people. You don't have to force a smile. I had Jessica and countless other people over the years that have understood what I was going through. There's always someone. Thanks for listening to my story. I wish you all the best.